Hello and welcome. It is that time of the week again. It is Salesbuildr Unplugged, where we just kind of turn the camera on and make sure there's some value to give our sometimes customers, maybe prospects, or maybe you haven't yet made contact with Salesbuildr and you're just interested in getting some value from the content in general. You're welcome. Thank you for taking some time out of your day. I know for us, it's afternoon over here in Europe. And of course, we've got our friends East Coast just waking up and West Coast. Well, yeah, this is going to be on the recording for you. I can only apologize. That's what it's there for. So if you want to share this with anyone, you can just share this link to your colleagues and they can access it either via LinkedIn or YouTube. That's where everything is. So we have got loads for you today. The title, as you may have seen, is all about how you can generate more revenue. So specific tips on how you can generate some more money from your existing client base using the tools within Salesbuildr. So we're going to dive into that shortly. But first, we're going to dive into, as always, our content of the week. So lots going on here in the way of content. Let me direct you to our YouTube page. So this is where you'll pretty much find anything, obviously video related. We do have other content on the site as well, but there's been quite a lot going on. So I've been busy making explainer videos. So if you're interested in any particular area of the product, I've been putting together explainer videos for the sales pipeline, basically every component of Salesbuildr. So you've got the CRM element, the pipeline visibility, portfolio management. The white space one was there before. You can dive in specifically to quote creation and then a piece on the storefront. Plus, Victor has kindly recorded a brand new product demo. So that is your more comprehensive walkthrough. So if you really want to, you decided, okay, yeah, this looks like it might actually be for me, or even you're using it and you think, I'd like to know some more about the features. This is Victor stepping through all of those bar the storefront, I believe. Also, we've got some great content from Dave Tulip. So Dave is a fantastic character in the UK MSP space, massively experienced, runs the Network Group, which is a brilliant community of sort of high-performing MSPs who we're involved with as well. And there's always loads to be learned when you go along to those meetings. But I managed to doorstop Dave and get some nuggets of wisdom from him. So as you can see, we put some shorts up here. There is a longer version as well on YouTube. Let me just play that for you.
And are we really different? Who knows? The message is, you're a business owner, someone's business.
Can I just check? Can you hear that okay? Is that coming through? I think maybe what I'll do is I will share the tab just in case, because sometimes if you just share the window, you don't get it. So I'll make sure you can actually hear what Dave's saying, because it would be doing him total injustice
and
otherwise.
Are we really different? Who knows? The message is, you're a business owner, someone's a business owner out there, right? They get a call from a salesperson. And they go, hi, can I sell you stuff? We know they want to sell us stuff. And we go, why? They go, because I'm better or I'm cheaper. That's the message, right? That's what you hear from salespeople. Yeah. They can do it better, they can do it cheaper. Everyone says it, whether it's true or not, that's what they say. So by being different and going, look, sorry, we don't work like that. We're a professional organisation. We want to engage with you correctly. The fact that you've come to us now, we're just too late. We're not going to be able to work with you on our process, the way we work. But by being different at the start, you're already creating curiosity. People want to know a bit more and go, listen, let's arrange that coffee. Let's arrange that catch up. Let's do this properly. You have to be different. And are we really different? Who knows?
And it just cycles right. How good is Dave? Honestly, it was soundbite after soundbite in that video. So definitely go and check it out. It's about a 15-minute interview, 15-minute chat, and there'll be loads in there for you to check out. So that's it for content. Let me have a quick look and see what we've got in the way of industry content for you. So we always highlight one industry piece just for a little bit of discussion. So what I'm going to do is share this one with you.
That looks like some really useful content.
Okay, let's share this with you. There may have been a minor microphone off moment there. I don't know. It's never going to run perfectly smoothly. So this is a fantastic piece here. So let me bring in, I'll tell you what, actually, I'll bring in the other guys. I think this is a good opportunity. Rather than me just ramble on about it, I'm going to discuss this with the team. So let me bring in both Bram and Victor. Bram, Head of Customer Success. How are you doing? You probably were expecting to be brought in a little bit later, but hello.
You're doing great. Yeah, I'm happy that I was actually ready. Otherwise, it could have been awkward.
I'm going to catch you one of these days. I can just see there's like a preview window at the bottom. I think is he paying attention?
I was actually thinking just now, like, oh, is this the time to get another cup of coffee? And I'm really glad that I didn't.
Keep it on your toes as always.
Yeah.
So we'll have your top tip of the week later on. But this is an article which I thought was quite interesting. Victor, you might have a thought on this as well. Victor, founder, CEO.
How are you guys? Happy to be on again.
You're a regular for some reason, Victor. I don't know why that would be. So this is a nice article from a brilliant site called MSP Growth Hack. So this is one of those. It's one of those sites where you basically just have to sign up. We're not affiliated in any way, but the gems that come from Kevin Clunes are always worth reading. So it's one of those emails that you get that you just kind of you have to pay attention to. So he does such a great job on content around helping MSPs grow, unsurprisingly. But this is an interesting piece, I thought. So this is around a survey that he ran asking 84 MSPs, what's the best hire? If you had one hire, what would it be? Account manager or salesperson? And if you take a look through here, it's quite interesting, actually. So the results actually were skewed towards 64%. I'm going to ask, actually, Victor, what would you do if you're an MSP owner and you had one hire? Where would you go?
I wanted to know what was the reasoning for this. But I think I agree. I mean, it's different, right? Because my argumentation would be this: like, get a great account manager, because 80% of your business is going to come from your existing customers. The other thing is that if you have a great account manager and a great company and a great team, it sets you up to create ambassadors in your customer base. If you treat them well, if you care for them, and if you make sure they're very happy campers, they will do the selling for you. Right? I mean, it's so logical.
Agree.
And that sets you up to be like, and then that account manager could ask for referrals. Like, if all your customers are happy, or the vast majority of your customers are happy, people will happily refer you to other business owners. And that's one great way, the best way to grow, maybe, right? And that's different than having a salesperson who has to go out there every day and face a day full of rejection.
Yeah, I mean, you put it directly, but yes, that's the blunt version.
And it doesn't really help having a salesperson when they walk out the back door on the other end, right?
That's
you mean
true.
so without that person, then you have no foundation?
Well, I mean, it's basically the hunter versus the farmer discussion, right? Where I think they both have their place. It's both important, but it's different DNAs. It's not the same. Right?
That's interesting. No, that's really good, because that's kind of what it's come up with in a way. So, I mean, what this article ends up pretty much saying is referrals can get you so far, and if you've only got to choose one, then that's probably a good way to do it. Another point that's made in the article is the fact that it frees up the owner. So for a certain size of MSP, it's fine to be owner-led sales. That's cool. But if your time is consumed with some of the internal stuff, you're not able to go out there and generate the new business, then it makes a lot of sense to bring in an account manager who you can trust to do all the things that you've just said.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And again, yeah, it's a different DNA, right? You have to have that. You have to be able to just brush it off every time you hear a no, and don't take it personally, and realize that you're still alive, and go on to the next.
I also think that if you were to go for that, like, salesperson, like as you said, Victor, the difference, like you'll get a hunter, and that person does a great job, does a lot of hunting. Is your company actually able to facilitate all of those new customers coming in? 9 times out of 10, you need a good account manager to actually be able to handle that growth.
For sure.
So, no,
I agree. So yeah, but it's a good discussion to be had.
It is. I think another element is that you can pull in from the existing internal teams as well. So I think the argument is that, okay, actually hiring an account manager could come from one of the technically led teams as well. So perhaps it's an easier hire than it is to go out and try and find someone, especially if you're not from a sales background. It's quite hard to find, the actual necessarily to know all the attributes to look for.
Yeah, and it's also a stage thing, right? When you get to 500,000, $1 million, 2.5 million, 5 million, 10 million, then you go from owner-led sales to having a salesperson, to having inside sales and outside sales, to having maybe 2 sales teams, a marketing team. So it all depends, and the context changes all the time, as long as you're growing as a company, and discussion changes too, and the needs change.
Definitely. My first thought was when I saw those figures, oh, that's ridiculous. How on earth are you going to grow without a direct salesperson? But as you say, it's just a stage thing, isn't it? Once you get to a certain point, you're like, okay, I feel like I've got my processes in place. There's certainly if you're going to engage with a marketing agency or something and you're looking for leads coming in potentially that the salesperson can handle, then you're going to need someone probably like that, a proper salesperson, if I can call them that, to handle that new interest. But until that point, then account management isn't the priority, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, well, that's that piece highlighted. On to our main feature then, I think, while we're talking about new business and generating more income. Let's have a quick look into our feature of the week. Okay, so I thought we'd do this one together. We've got a few topics to look for. So we've basically whittled down the best revenue generating opportunities that we can think of within Salesbuildr as a kind of quick wins, quick go-to. So I think we agreed, Victor, we're going to start with renewals are your most important, right? These are the first. If you want to generate new revenue from existing base, then your renewals are the place to start. And this is how you do it within Salesbuildr.
Yeah, and sometimes some MSPs have like this forever recurring contracts in place, which never end, basically, until the customer says no, right? Others have 1 year or multi-year agreements, and then they end, and they have to be renewed. And the other things that you have is that you resell software licenses or subscriptions or warranties or maintenance, and that also covers a period for 12 months or 24 months or 36 months. And that's a different animal, because the customer is still your customer, but they have subscriptions or services that need to be renewed. And you have to look out for them or take care of them and say, well, look, I'm going to help you out here. And here's a proposal I'm going to send for you. So but let's cover the first instance where you have a contract that's going to expire.
That sounds good. I mean, customers expect this as well, right? I mean, it's a part of a managed service. They expect you to be on top of this stuff. So it's pretty important to do it from that perspective as well.
Yeah, they do. And I kind of feel if you're a company, you have a contract in place, that you also have a responsibility to monitor that contract for when it expires, because ultimately it's your responsibility. But
true, yes,
I also would expect it from my supplier to keep track of it. So you both do it, actually. But we made it really simple to do by just pulling your existing contracts from your PSA and notifying you of any contracts that are about to expire. Where you can say there's a pre-made tile. I just showed you on the dashboard here, and you can see that we have a filter here: contracts ending in this quarter, today, this week, this month, this year, and it will show you, okay, this customer has a contract that will expire this quarter. And as you can see here, there's a contract that's connectivity and managed users will also expire. And normally you would have more services on that contract. This is an example contract. But here you can look into the contract and you can see the customer. When it expires, you can see the estimated revenue, like the monthly revenue. And you can then inspect that contract by opening it up and displaying it in your PSA. You can also inspect the customer or just already proactively start on creating a renewal proposal, where you click, okay, I want to create a renewal. I'm going to pick my example quote templates. I'm going to pick the contact person with the company, and there is my renewal proposal. And I picked the template that can already facilitate this, right? And there's what the customer now has: 10 managed users for a price of 100 per month. And basically, here's already the renewal proposal. The opportunity is created, and I can proactively send this proposal to my customer, do a little intro, and say, hey, it's about to expire. Here's the renewal proposal. It's a simple one. maybe it doesn't grant a whole conversation, a whole meeting.
Yeah, it's expected.
Complexity. It's expected. That's one way you could do it. So that's one thing. Like, so you go to the white space, you inspect your existing contracts, you filter for what's ending this quarter, and then you take action from there. Can be opening up a conversation, or it can be just creating a renewal proposal and sending it directly to your customer.
Do you find most people try and align as many of these as possible? I mean, obviously, what you don't want to be doing, I guess, is doing this like 6 times in a month or whatever, because it's just time wasted. But is it how do you go about doing that? Do you expect, like, is the best practice to have one contract that covers all the service elements, or?
Yeah, that really depends. Like most MSP would have like a master services agreement, and everything under the master service agreement, and sometimes they have a different, right? They have Microsoft licenses, they have connectivity, security, continuity services, they have managed services and support, and sometimes they roll it up into one contract in the PSA, but sometimes they break it down into multiple contracts, and then the billing engine makes sure they get like one invoice or multiple invoices. It all depends. And that's the reason why is that sometimes your connectivity has another different contract period from your software licenses, right? It doesn't always align properly because it's complex.
So it's all you can do, really. You need to align that with your suppliers, basically. You need to get the timing right, and then that'll just help you. There's nothing really you can do beyond that, is there? It's just...
Yeah, exactly. And so the start and the end date can also differ. That's why you sometimes want to create multiple contracts in your PSA to track them over time. And it also depends if you want to be able to keep track of the incoming invoices from your suppliers that you have to then add to the contract as costs, because you want to learn what contract is making money for as opposed to which contract am I losing money on. And you got to, in order to do that, you have to keep track of the revenue, and you have to keep track of the cost, and you have to do the billing reconciliation every month to map your incoming vendor costs to the correct contract for the correct customer.
So that will be added to the PSA. So when you say about getting a notification from the supplier, it would already be set up in the PSA. The notification would be like if there was a change to it or something. Basically, you'd need to manually update that. Not
always. There are a couple of tools in the market that can help you do that. Mostly, it's manual work for most MSPs, unfortunately, where they get incoming invoices, right? And they have to map those invoices to the correct contracts, which is a lot of work. But there are tools in the market like Application Link, or you have Cloud Olive.
Yes.
That can parse all those incoming invoices from your suppliers, recognize for what customers those costs are, and then map them to the correct contract, and then look at the quantities that are in the contract versus the quantities on the invoice and a cost price, and then make adjustments or suggest adjustments for you so you can be sure you're billing what you're getting billed in terms of quantities. I now understand those products better than ever, because that is, as evangelists of automation and trying to get rid of all the admin grind, that's got to go, right? I mean, that's not, you can't be spending your time doing that. And again, there are companies that have like massive amounts of complexity in their contracts, and there's companies that have managed to standardize it more and more, and anything in between. Yeah. Right. So this is one option. Another one option is, and that's also like proactively making sure that when you have renewals, in the other renewals we're talking about is this. Like, let me go into the import templates. There's actually a workflow and a template for warranties, right? So normally, if you sell hardware, desktop, laptop, servers, storage systems, switches, firewalls, you can purchase a warranty, and those warranties are for a certain period of time. And after that period of time, you want to renew the warranties typically. So there's a revenue opportunity for you to sell another period of warranties. Now, these typically are matched to the hardware serial number and then to the part number of the product that you want to sell the services for, right? And we have, normally you would have either set this up in a third-party tool that keeps track of all your warranties, or you would have set it up in your PSA. Sometimes people use spreadsheet or different solutions. So you want to have something that can export all the stuff that you need to renew. And you want to also find out what the customer number is. This is the customer number in the PSA. And here's the hardware part number. Here's the hardware serial number that this specific warranty is for. And then you have a cost price and the sales price, right? And you have all the columns here. This is the title of the quote. This is the distributor. And sometimes if you have a special bid, you can also use that. Now, what you can do with Salesbuildr is use this template. And then if I go and create a proposal, no, I'm going to do it another way. You can go to the quotes tab and we have an import renewals workflow. So you can, I copied this now and I'm going to paste it here, right? And as you can see, I'm going to select the Netherlands for the daytime notation. As you can see here, it will automatically map all those columns in the spreadsheet to the fields in Salesbuildr. Customer number, hardware part number, serial number, price, cost, not going to need margin. And I can then click next for the right category, and the unit is going to be the license. And it will show me a preview. Here again, I can select the template I want to use for Salesbuildr to create these quotes. And as you can see here, these are two different customer numbers, right? So I can do this in bulk for 1 or 10 or 50 customers for 1 or more products that need a warranty renewal at once. And this saves you a bunch of time, and it's additional revenue. You want to keep track of it so you can do the sale again in a year or so. Right?
And what would the template difference be there, do you think? Is that one that you would just, generally it's going to be fairly, I guess, fairly concise, but maybe you might tailor it for the sector or something? Or
well, yeah, well, you want to say, look, you have hardware that we manage for you, and your warranty is about to expire. So here we proactively offer you like a warranty extension, a new warranty, so we can make sure that everything will work when it breaks down.
Got it. So it's just fully explaining what that product category is, basically. So yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, that's a good opportunity to do that, isn't it? Yeah,
and I'm going to click it away. Hold on, I have to do it again. Paste the data. Select the localization.
While Victor's doing that, don't forget you can get your comments in, any questions. This is supposed to be an open session, so you're more than welcome to take us down any direction you like in terms of having a look at the product. If there's anything else you'd like to see more of, or you just want to let us know where you're tuned in from, you can do that in the chat.
So here, this is now processing. So all those items are going to be added to 2 different proposals, right? All entries are successfully processed. I'm going to close this off. I'm going to clear my filters. You can see there's 2 proposals have been created, right? One for this customer, one for this customer. And I'm going to open it up. And you can see there's a proposal with a cover page, or example proposal. There's a cover letter. And then here you can see that it correctly added all the line items, referenced the correct part number, the serial number, right? And then the price, the cost, the markup, and the profit.
Is that pulling that from disties, Victor? Then is that where's that information coming from when you're pulling when you drop in a particular product ID? Is that
it's actually here from this Excel sheet where you have a cost and a price. Like if you do it in bulk, you can do something of a special bit there.
Okay.
Or in this case, it can also reference a specific distributor, right? If you have a distributor and they sell that part number, it will link it to.
Excellent. Okay, that's good.
This is you would get a vendor quote for all these renewals, and then you use the quote to populate all these columns, and then you can bulk import and create multiple proposals at once. So that's the renewal of the master service agreement or the renewal of warranties.
Okay. There's more?
Well, that's the two we wanted to cover today.
The two, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Excellent. So getting on top of your renewals, you can do that within Salesbuildr. That's brilliant. Thank you very much. And then, so we've got bundles and add-ons as well. So this is the next area. So this is one I really like this one actually, because it lets you get a bit creative with how you package. There's almost like a bit of a marketing element to it and how you present stuff to customers. But should we have a look at the opportunity there for add-ons first of all? So I think that's a good one. It's an obvious one.
So add-ons. So when you're selling workplaces, laptops or desktops, because of all our customers need them, you don't want to just plainly sell the laptop. Like you're an MSP, your customer is looking for a solution, not a laptop. They're looking for a solution. So they want the laptop, but they also want some other stuff. And what you can do in Salesbuildr is, because you organize what you sell in different categories, as you can see here, I've created a top category called laptops, and there's a subcategory called HP laptops. Right? You can do it per brand, basically, and maybe also even product type. And this enables you to add very specific up and cross-sell items for that laptop brand product line.
Brilliant. Yeah.
For example, this will work perfectly with that HP laptop. And what you want to do here is you want to offer your customers a complete solution. So a complete solution is not only sell the laptop, but also sell the full service onboarding with installation. You want to sell the care pack. You want to sell the office license. You want to sell the backpack, and you want to sell the docking station.
So you've got mandatory options that they can't basically unselect. Then you've got the optional extras, which hopefully will drive some extra revenue. This is not the same area you would have like, oh, can I interest you in a slightly better spec laptop? Is it? Because you choose that from the earlier stage, right?
Yeah, you can then choose to have two different options, but you can, because the laptops are all in the same category, they will all inherit these up and cross-sell items.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Right. And making them required is you saying, look, we sell stuff here that aligns with a specific standard and is comprehensive. And we make sure that you can do the work and your employees are happy. So this is the package that we want to sell you. This is our standard. And then you will see that 99% of the time, or 90% of the time, your customers will buy this from you if you recommend it to them and make it easy for them to buy it.
And this is great for the shop as well, isn't it? I mean, it's good anyway, but certainly if you have the storefront and you've got simple things like, I mean, there's great opportunities there for, if, you know, I mean, it's not massive revenue, but it all adds up. If you're selling a webcam, you've got potentially, you know, do you want the sort of the mic set up to go with that, the light setup, you know, like a whole, you can imagine you could build these out really nicely to the point where if everything's got an upsell, suddenly you're starting to see, you know, the revenues from the smaller sales creep up, and it's just about extracting every little piece out of this, isn't it?
Well, it's that, and it's not only that, because it's also like making sure your customers are happy. Like,
don't worry about that. No, it's all about the money, Victor.
Yeah, but it's also like I expect from you to help me, so I won't have to call you. Hey, why did you think of sending me a laptop back?
Yeah.
I need to carry this under my arm.
Yeah. And there's no other. It's part of the consultancy, isn't it? Really, it's part of what you're doing, but it's hands free. So you've gone through and you've decided these are the things that are needed.
Yeah, and if you do this consistently, and of course there's some admin here because things go end of life, or like things change, or docking stations get invented all the time, get added to the product line. So there's some admin here, but this works well because you can manage it centrally. And the whole sales team doesn't have to think about it. It just gets added to the proposal. Yeah.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah.
All right, so that's add-ons, but then the other element to this is bundles, right? So you come straight in and you've got a service bundle made of multiple components. So how do these differ?
Yeah. So if you look at bundles is basically rolling up different items from your catalog to a single line item in Salesbuildr. And that can be anything, but your customer is looking for a solution, which can be, hey, I need a workplace, but I also want it to be managed. I want it to be secure. I want it to be backup. And when I have an issue, I want to be able to call you so you can fix it for me.
So this is a combination of hardware and services, right? This could be your core offering. This could be your per user cost, which basically could incorporate the support services, the proactive security, a piece of hardware or more. This is the fundamentals of how you can offer your portfolio.
Yeah. So in this case, you would have like a Dell Precision and a keyboard mouse combination, and there are managed services for my own organization. And here you can also add licenses to say those SaaS defense and SaaS protection, right? So, and you can do Microsoft Defender, and you can layer that whole solution so it's a comprehensive solution for your customer. And as you can see, like Salesbuildr you can also define the quantities. In this case, it's 3. Well, let's change that to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the cool thing is that a bundle can have a one-time investment and a monthly recurring investment. But it's making it easy for the end customer.
Yeah. It's nice. It's presented in that way, isn't it? Can I just ask Bram, actually? Bram, what do you think in terms of the way you see this laid out? How do you see that the companies you work with tend to do this, tend to use bundles? Do you see it used a lot?
Yeah, so I see it used in the bundle specifically. I see used a lot when you're looking at, like, let's say workplaces. So let's say you get a new employee in, right? That person is always going to need this, and that. Then also, if you look at a lot of MSPs have managed service offering where they supply like a bronze, silver, gold strategy or something like that.
Yeah,
and then you can
tiered.
bundle all of that into just your bronze packaging, and that includes regular monitoring, AV, backup, and you just, again, bundle all of that up. That's how I see it being used most of the time.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, and here's the bundle on a proposal, right? So here on the proposal, you can see what's inside the bundle. But your customer, and you can pick and choose. Do you want to be transparent? Do you want to say, dear customer, this is what's inside the bundle? Or say, no, you're buying a bundle, and then you describe I'm going to describe what you're getting. You're getting a couple of items, desktop and a keyboard and a mouse, and you're going to get all these services and software, but I'm going to describe the outcomes for you. And don't bother yourself with all the technical details, what's inside the bundle, because they're not interested in that, because the customer is interested in the outcome and in the results. And this also simplifies the selling, right? Because if you open this up and you're going to sell all these technical items to your customer, now you have to going to explain what is SaaS protection and what is SaaS defense. Do I really need SaaS defense? Is it really necessary?
It's a point of discussion then suddenly, isn't it? How much detail is the right amount of detail then? Because obviously you need something, don't you? I mean, so personally, I would rather see like like 1 page in the proposal that maybe was like 6 points with icons. That's like security done. This might be whatever it'll be. Your productivity done. That sort of, rather than getting too granular. But what do you think?
Well, I think, and that's where your building blocks come in, right? And that's where you can add stuff. Like if you do want to educate them on SaaS Protect and you want to be transparent, you can put that in there, or you're going to have your managed services description, which you can pull into the proposal, where you talk about, okay, what is included, and then you talk about, okay, monitoring is included, security is included, backup and recovery is included, but you're not going to talk about what you use to manage the security. They couldn't care less, typically.
No. And you don't want to be tied to a brand either, really. I mean, I guess in most cases, when you've got these tiered packages you're talking about, that's going to be a proposal, isn't it? We're not talking about an inside sales quick quote. It's a proposal. So you should carefully think about how that's laid out and standardize it.
Yeah, you want to do the good, better, best, right? The good, the better, the best bundle, and then you describe, well, what's the differences between those two bundles, and which ones do you want to buy from us?
And you're guiding. Victor, we've got a question. Michael, can you explain the creator's basket option when creating a quote? Are there opportunities for boosting revenue with the storefront?
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, you can sometimes if you just want to create a quick quote and customers are used to buying through the self-service portal, you can create a quote as a basket, right? So if you create as a basket, now I'm going to create a simple, let me see, mouse. There we go. And if I create that and I share that with my customer, they click on the link. Now they have to identify themselves using single sign-on.
Yeah, of course, because the basket or storefront is custom to each customer, isn't it?
Yes, but now what you did here is you created a basket. So the only thing that the customer sees is, hey, here's the mouse. I needed a mouse. There's the cost, right? There's the delivery address. I can do a PO number and a note. And then I'm going to go place the order. And if I have enabled it, I can use Stripe to collect the payment.
Or if they've got account terms, presumably that's just
if you turn this on for customers. So that's what you can do with the create as a basket. So you're removing all the friction, and you're just like an Amazon buy now option. You send the link, you're done.
That's nice. That's very convenient, isn't it? So you don't even have to worry about quoting. It's just there. We get used to using that link. So with the bundles, if you're putting together a proposal, can you have like so you've got here's my, let's say I've gone for the bronze tier, but also sort of upsells with options. So can you put multiple in there? So I'll have that bundle, then I'll have the, by the way, we're doing a special on, I don't know, high powered laptops at the moment. Do you want to have a look at these?
Yes, you can, because a bundle is nothing else than a line item on your proposal, right? So you can add more stuff to the proposal from your portfolio, right? Let's say an iPhone, I don't know, this doesn't really matter. Can be a service, can be a labor item or whatever.
Probably want another bundle, actually. Like I'd probably want to put another bundle in there that's like, hey, there's the premium bit. Do you want this?
Yeah, it's premium. So you can create as many bundles if you want, and then you can decide the contents, and that's something you have to design, right? And ideally, you would want to, you could, and maybe we can show that next time. You can create a matrix with the good and the best, better, best, and then so your customer easily understands from a one-pager what the differences are between the different tiers. And then underneath there, they can do a single select. Right?
That's what I see being used by some customers. Like you'll put on a one pager, like let's say you're looking at that bronze, silver, gold tier, managed service tier that I just described, right? You'll see a one pager that describes the differences between bronze, silver, and gold, and then a choice, as Hector is showing now, between bronze, silver, and gold, and they can make an educated like choice based off what they saw. And those are all just 3 different bundles with all the different products tiered underneath it. You can even right now select one of those. So if Victor were to sell this to somebody and he's like, okay, I want to recommend one of these, and you can pre-select it for the customer saying this is our recommendation, but then the customer can decide on something else if they want.
That's a great idea. We should definitely do one of those matrix. I think a matrix example would be great to have in the template. Actually, we should definitely have that.
Yeah, and there's lots of these on the internet. Maybe we can use one of them or make our own. But in this case, you would have like good, better, best, right? And here on the top, you would then explain to the customer or create a nice image to highlight that. And here's where you can do the description. Yeah, and we can make a nice example for that and put it in the marketplace too.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Hope that answers your question, Michael. Let us know if you've got any others or if you want more clarification on that one. Okay, and I think the last one was gaps, wasn't it? So gap selling, just looking for opportunities. So revenue generation, we saved it till last, but this is the place to go, isn't it? Really, if you want to try and generate some more revenue from your base, we have a tool for it.
Exactly, and one thing we'll be adding in the coming weeks is you will be able to see what services are the most profitable services. It's not in there right now, but that's going to come very soon. So
nice,
you can group by vendor service, category service, or customer service, and sort by most profitable to least profitable.
That's exactly what you should be doing, right? You should be ordering by like, where's my profit at? Reasonably.
Exactly.
I guess, is that an amount or a percentage, or how would that be displayed?
There's going to be an amount.
An amount,
yeah. And then that will enable you to identify those services, and you can also then label those services, right? Because let me go here. So you want to be able to be able to identify like your top 10% of services that are the best performers, and then you want to be able to categorize them in the proper categories, and then you know which category is my most essential or best performing in terms of profit or revenue. And here you can then see and quickly show, okay, which of my customers do not have voice over IP services, right? In this example, there are 2, but if you have a lot of customers, you might be having like more results. And now the other thing you can do is, okay, I want to have which one do not have security offering. Security is pretty essential.
Yeah, that's been a mistake.
Yes. So now you might want to go into that customer, jump into the customer and jump into the company card, and then go to the contacts and say, all right, so maybe I want to send an email to my customer and saying, hey, I got a pre-built, I just selected a pre-built template and say, hey, dear first name, because I'm the account manager and I know my contact person, so it's going to be a warm email. And say, hey, hope you're doing well. I was looking over your account and notice we haven't set you up with a SaaS protection service yet. This is basically a protection for bad things that can happen to your email. Keeping it simple. Can we grab a 10-minute call next week to give you a quick overview and go from there? And that's it. And you send that to your customer. And now you've opened up a conversation based on the insight you had here. This list of customers do not have any of our security solutions.
So of course you can, if you wanted to, you can use this in a QBR or TBR. It's not always the way to go, but this is great if you've got something where it's appropriate to actually make an individual communication from an account manager to the prospect. It's something you can do there, and then without it sounding like it's coming from a marketing company.
And if you're talking about marketing, maybe what you want to do here is say, look, I'm going to create a company label, security, like I say, no security, right? And then going to do red, create, boom. That's now a label, a custom label in Salesbuildr. And what you can do here is apply that label to these results. So now if you're going to have to do multiple reach outs or multiple awareness messages, you can apply that label through the white space to one or more customers. And if you do, and you switch to the contact screen, you can clear the filters and say, show me all the companies that match the label, no security. There it is. And it will show you the contacts and the company using the company label. So this is powerful. You only have the contacts that match the specific company label. And from here, you can also do a bulk campaign and send them all this message.
I really like that. Those labels are really they're super flexible, aren't they? Because I'm just thinking, if you, especially when the profit service comes, the new profit feature,
yes,
you can see which are the most profitable services, and you're the sales manager. You could actually say, right, I'm going to tag most profitable services, and these are the ones where it's like extra commission month or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of everyone will see it right there. These are like, this is, you're going to get an extra whatever it might be.
Yes,
a spiff, exactly that. Yeah. So there's all sorts you can do with this. You can get quite creative.
So yeah, best practice for managing snippet templates for the email feature you just described. Well, it's here, right? Under quotes, you have snippets, and here's where you can set up as many snippets as you like. We will also be expanding this with labels like we have here, so you can organize them by label. That's coming too. And that's a matter of working with your team to learn, hey, which messages resonate the best with our customer audience, and then iterating that message over time so it becomes very powerful and valuable, and go from there.
I could see some stats on there at some point, Victor, where it says how they've performed. You know, that kind of
That'd be
click through or whatever. Yeah. Very good.
So, yeah, that would be that's a fantastic workflow. And just if you've separated your services across multiple categories, that makes sense, that gives you insight, right? If you rolled up all of your managed services under a container category called managed services, and in the managed service you would have managed firewall, managed desktops, managed continuity, managed whatever, that's not really meaningful for this overview. So you might want to split them up into meaningful categories, and you might then want to remove your services in your PSA under that meaningful categories, and then this will be expand into a much more meaningful overview that gives you the nice white spaces as you see them here. And then you would have a very powerful filter where you can just say, show me all the customers that do not have continuity, or show me all the customers that do have continuity, because I might want to send them a message.
Yeah, for service purposes or something else. Yeah, rather than sales.
Or training, or an update.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many things that can be useful.
Yeah,
powerful tool. Those labels and the and the filtering system.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate you giving us an overview and stepping in at the last minute once I dumped that concept on you of the revenue generating opportunity. So yeah, handle that like a boss. Indeed. Right. So what's next? We have Bram. It's your time.
Look at that. You added my picture this time as well. You tweaked it a little bit. So,
all right, I'm coming in again. Yeah, I did. that's always been there. That's always been there.
It has always been there. I just never seen it.
Yeah. It's been there. Maximum effort from the beginning. But at least good to know. Good to know it was appreciated.
I don't know. I was just probably listening to the tune instead of looking at.
Yeah, you were that blown away. What have you got for us this week then? So, top tips from the front line. What have you got in terms of customer advice you can give from what you've heard?
Yes. So the tip that I have today is something that has more to do with the usage of the tooling rather than the different functionalities, because I think we've had loads of them in the last couple of minutes anyway. So it's more about, it has to do with how you use it. And I think you can even apply this to different tools. And that is to, especially when you're like a bigger company, to make sure that you assign champions. And this can seem like a no-brainer, but I see that it's been being overlooked quite a lot. What I would actually recommend is making sure that you assign like a champion within your company, let's say about Salesbuildr, that knows and tries to get educated on everything that Salesbuildr can do continuously, right? And that person will be in charge of making sure that they know everything as far as they can, as much as possible about the tooling, but also look at the release notes that we that we push out every now and then. Visit some of these sessions every now and then, and really make sure that if somebody within the company is kind of like stuck, that they can help out right there and then. Of course, we're also in the chat to assist, but it's always better to have somebody within your company that already knows everything, that knows the rules that you guys have set up over time, and to assist that person. Now, I usually see that this person is mostly assigned as like a manager or something like that, but I would actually recommend on making somebody a champion that actually makes the quotes on a daily basis, that has a lot of time that they spend on making those quotes, instead of a manager that just oversees them, because you want somebody with more of a track record that does things continuously, so that also won't be a hassle for that person to do. Now, if you're a smaller company with only a couple of employees, of course, like let's say you're just doing it with the 3 of you, then that is not as big of an issue. You could still make sure that's one of those 3 people is able to like is charged with knowing as much as possible. But at that moment, I would probably make it a little bit less of a thing, and probably go for more something like catching these sessions every now and then, and checking up on what is new through these sessions, and also booking some time in with, for instance, myself, to do a little bit of a rundown of, hey, what did we miss in the last few months in terms of releases, and how can we do things better? Because sometimes you're so stuck in the system that you don't even know what it is that you don't know, if that makes sense. Yeah, that is the tip that I have today.
Excellent. And even for us working internally at Salesbuildr, things move quickly. I mean, as you can hear, there's things that just every couple of weeks or so got new features. So yeah, definitely, I think that's great advice, and brilliant that we can help out as well if needed.
Yeah, of course.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Bram, as always. I'm going to dive now into a quick look at what's happening in the way of industry events. So event season carries on. My goodness, it's a packed schedule. You don't have to take in all of these, but here's a few just to show you what's happening in and around the industry. Of course, the big one is next week. So next week, we're going to be trying again a live broadcast from ChannelCon. So myself, Glenn, and Tyler are going to be there. I'm doing a panel on marketing in-house versus outsourced. That's going to be interesting. Looking forward to that one. Looks like a really interesting group of people giving opinions. We're going to be taking sort of audience scenarios and then suggesting, well, should you be building a team in-house and keeping it close to your culture, or should you be maybe looking for a marketing agency to work with? So cannot wait for ChannelCon. It's always an amazing community event. And if you're going, please let us know. It'd be lovely to catch up with you. We'll have a booth so you can come and see us. And we're giving away an Oculus Quest. It's not a Quest, it's a Meta Quest these days, Meta Quest 3. So that's the latest headset. Really, really good. Loads of other stuff going on. If you're security minded, you've got Black Hat, which is in Vegas. A few others there to look out for. You've got a big IT Nation one down under, and an ASCII event in Toronto that stand out as the big ones. So plenty happening there. So you can see conveniently for your calendar all the events that are going on around the world in the MSP space. So we're drawing towards the end now. What we always like to do at the end is have a tune of the week. Now, guys, I'll bring you back in. That caught you rehydrating, Bram. It could have been worse, I suppose.
It finally happened.
All right, so we have a tune of the week. We have a Spotify playlist, MSP Unplugged. Check it out on Spotify and you'll see the random mix of tunes. And I've got one for you this week. Okay, by the magic of YouTube, this is a track I absolutely love. It's one of those ones that you just basically can't. I mean, I like all genres of music, really. I particularly like the sort of the old like some of the old rave, like warehouse stuff and house music. But I have a big interest in funk and soul as well. So given a chance, there's always something funk and soul on my playlist going through the week. This one I played at my wedding. This one was actually released in 1980, which is my year of birth. And it's a track I love. So hopefully this will give you a feel-good feeling as we come towards the end of the week. Take a listen to George Benson, Give Me the Night. So good. It's such a like a simple track, but it's a feel good one. Love it.
Absolutely is. Like,
is this track older than you, James? What year is
it was when 1980. So when I was my year of birth, which is one of the reasons I picked it. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. So I appreciate you are busy people, and you're probably not here just to watch videos on YouTube, but I think we can allow that sharing of some quality tunes, and you can get that every week. And maybe that's all you come for. Who knows? Okay, so listen, we're drawing it to a close. Any more questions? Oh, Tyler's chipping in there. Thank you very much, Tyler. You like this track? That's good to hear. Very good. We'll be cycling it around next week. It'll be someone else's turn. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got any other questions, you're more than welcome to get them in, and I'll keep an eye out on the chat for now. Thank you to Michael. Thank you to Tyler. Thank you for anyone watching this on the recorded version. And again, apologies to our West Coast friends, because it's just a hideous hour for you to try and tune into this. But hopefully you'll enjoy the recording anyway and find it useful.
It was fun.
Bram, Victor.
Thanks,
yeah,
Steve.
it was. It was good. Thank you.
have a great day.
Cheers, guys. Take care.